Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Today, I wanted to talk about the best way to control accessories in the Toyota Tacoma. You know, I've done a couple of things. I've done the little push buttons, and frankly, if you have more than one or two accessories, do you really want to put little buttons and switches all over the place inside your Toyota Tacoma? Not me. I tried the Switch Pro, which is an awesome product. However, it's fairly complicated to get it set up, to get it all wired and put in the truck. And I would think that would scare a lot of people away from doing something like that. It's a fun project, but you better be a little bit mechanically oriented, I guess, to do that mod. So in this truck, I've installed the Auxbeam panel, the switch panel. And I've got to say, it is awesome. One that I would recommend over any other in my experience with it so far. The setup is very easy, just a couple of 3 connections. Place it inside the engine bay, and then you're ready to go. It's just that simple. So we're gonna run through it real quick. I'm gonna show you, just take a quick look at it, what it actually is in the truck. Now, we have to pop the hood, of course. We've got the Auxbeam switch panel right there, and I'm going to grab a light here. It's a little bit shaded, I guess, under the hood. Go figure, right? But we're going to stick it right over here so you guys can see what it involves. And I set a couple of wires, right? You've got the panel itself, obviously, right here. And then you've got a breaker, which I love. This is a 60 amp breaker in between the panel and the battery. So if anything ever goes nuts, you're not going to fry everything else. It's going to break right here. But the wiring, you've obviously got the red wire, which is positive to the battery, and then it connects into the Auxbeam unit. And then on the other side, which is actually underneath, you probably can't see it, but it runs down through here, and then I've got it grounded right here on the side. Pretty darn simple. I'll open it up here in a second and show you. Now, there's one other wire. It is a trigger wire, and the purpose of that is so that the unit is not on unless there is power to the truck. In other words, you've pushed the button or switched the key and activated the systems. You definitely want that because you don't want it running or on all the time, because then you can run your battery down, right? Now, let's take a quick look. What I did, I went through the firewall, right through the typical grommet that's down there, and if you're looking for an install video, there is an install video on the channel. I'll link it down below. But you run that trigger wire underneath, and this is the best way I have found to do this so far. Right under here, and we'll get a light down there, hopefully we can show you guys. Right under here there is that panel right up there, and you can see the wire that's plugged into it. That is an accessory fuse in that little panel under there, and that is the best way that I have found to be able to tap into the system on a plug that does not have constant power. I have tried in the past to use other plugs, other fuses under the hood in the fuse panel, and I never could find one that was always off unless the truck was on. The other thing is you have to go ahead and drill through or put a hole in the cover here, and that kind of defeats the purpose. The last thing you want to happen is to have water get inside that box, right? Now, real quick, I'm going to pop the cover off here just to show you the guts, if you will, of the Auxbeam panel. There it is. It's very simple. Here are the 2 wires I talked about earlier, the positive, which feeds into the breaker, and the negative, which goes over here to the negative. And that wire that goes underneath that I just showed you is right here. And then a second wire that runs into the control panel inside the truck. I'll show you that in just a second. That's one of the coolest features of the whole system. Now, the tray, I actually modified a little bit here. I created a longer bar, if you will, so I could move the whole tray that way. The support, what it sits on top of, and that's to keep it off of the top of the fuse box. I didn't want it over the panel here so that I couldn't get the cover off. That's one of the big problems that I had with the Switch Pro. Now, it moved it down this way, and as you can see, I can still open this panel no problem. Now, let's go inside and I'll show you what the actual controller looks like, which has some pretty neat features on it. Okay, I've got the truck running all powered up so I can show you the control unit. It is located right here. What I did, I got an aftermarket piece that has a cutout which perfectly fits the Auxbeam control unit, and also all of the other buttons and switches that you have that came with the truck. All of these are relocated from the original trim piece that was in here to this one. Love the look of it. It really looks OEM. Now, the panel itself, you can see it's all lit up, nice and bright. One of the things that I really love about this, you can customize this the way that you want it. I have mine set at green, obviously, to correspond to the electric lime green, and you can adjust the brightness. That's done through an app. Let's go ahead and click that on. It says switch panel right here. You can actually name it, I think, to whatever you want. Now, we want to make sure we've got the Bluetooth connected. It says connection success, and then we have the screen up here where we can change brightness and colors and all that good stuff. Right now, it's actually on the green. I'm going to switch it to red. Let's mess with the brightness here a little bit. I'm going to switch it to red just for kicks. Go ahead and hit that. And then if you look down here, and I'm not sure if the camera does it justice, but you can see it is in red. Let's shut the door, see if we can get it a little bit darker in here. That's probably a little bit better picture. It is actually a pretty deep, bright red. Now for kicks, we'll change it to blue. We'll go to purple. We can go to white. Really anything that you want. I'm gonna go back to my green, and that's done by just moving the little thing around the color wheel in here, and you can kind of adjust it until you get it to where you want it. Mine, I'm trying to keep fairly close to the car. You can see, or the truck I should say, you can see here moving it around. You can do all different kinds of colors. I'm gonna put mine, let's see, we're gonna go probably about right there, I think. Not an exact match to the truck, but pretty darn cool. Also, on the app, you can change the names of the switches, which, by the way, you can control from the app as well. You can change those to different names if you want. I've got mine on there. I need to change one. I've added a third since then. It's my grill light, or my grill name actually. But pretty cool features, pretty neat stuff on here. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of give you a little quick run through of the Auxbeam. I highly recommend it if you've got multiple electric accessories that you're trying to control on the truck. It's awesome. By the way, there is another feature on here. Let's see if I can get it to where it needs to be. Let's see. Let's go to mode. And you can see here it has toggle, momentary, and pulsed. You can actually make the features, the electronics that you have on, behave differently. Toggle just to turn it on, momentary means it'll stay on for a second, and pulsed means it's going to go off and on. Pretty neat features, just another little added extra, I guess, to having the Auxbeam. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you've got the Auxbeam switch panel system. What do you think of it? I'd be curious. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Honda Civic, and RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.